69. Karen, back to you.
Sure, let's keep our focus on Asia in the wake of the S&P downgrade. We've got Iwan, Azis, who is head of Office of Regional Economic Integration, Asian Development Bank. He's with us for a first on CNBC. And our guest host here today, Jim Rogers, CEO and Chairman of Rogers Holdings. Iwan, welcome. Nice to see you. Give it to us, ADB's reaction. What do you make of the S&P downgrade?
Well, we always believe that market is always uncertain, and what happened last Friday is simply raising the degree of uncertainty. And from that standpoint, we think that what the Asian governments have been doing in the last 12 months or so is going to be the same. The only thing that we think is going to happen is that most of the Federal Reserves, or I mean the central banks in the regions, will think twice before they continue raising the interest rate because of the uncertainty in the global economy.
But Iwan, most central banks in Asia know that America's got debt problems.
Yeah.
Is this a surprise to anybody except Washington?
Well, no, I think as many people already said, and I fully agree, that market in a way is already taken into consideration what happened on Friday. But there is still psychological effect.
Iwan, it's Bernie in Hong Kong. Thanks for being with us today. I want to ask, from the ADB perspective, let me use the parallel, or let me use the analogy of like money funds and, you know, the average household impact from this downgrade. Since a lot of things like money market funds tend to be in the shorter end of the curve, and this move by the singular move, I should highlight again, from S&P affects the long-term view on America, there's going to be very nil of an impact in terms of the ADB and, you know, looking at your funding needs and looking at your current funding vehicles which have been deployed out there. What will be the impact? I mean, how exposed is the ADB per se, you know, to the 30-year end of the curve?
Well, you know, we are usually looking at the medium-term prospect of the Asian economy, and even before the Friday decision, we already expected that the growth of the Asian economy will be moderating, and this is right after the V-shaped recovery in 2010. So just last week, when we were launching our report on the Asian Economic Monitor, I kept saying that the growth in Asia will continue to be strong. It's moderating from 2010. Now, with the Friday decision, as I said earlier, the uncertainty becomes bigger. What worries me is really on export sector, because most of the demand of the final goods export from Asia are coming from the US and Europe, and those two parts happen to be in great uncertainty now.
We've got a lot of questions coming in from our viewers, including one from Stockholm, from Leonard, who's saying, in a 2-year perspective, is this a good opportunity to buy cheap stocks in Asia? And I noticed in your report that you've put out, you're saying the outlook now for emerging Asian equities has softened, and there is a risk around profits.
Yeah, that's true. Even before the Friday decision, we already noticed that the first half of this year, there is a softening trend of the equity purchase in Asia. But our prediction is that the second half will get back into the strong demand for the equity in the region. Now, with this uncertainty, as I said earlier, we really don't know. What happened is, I think the capital flows to the region will continue to be strong.
Okay, Iwan, Azis from Asian Development Bank, thank you so much for joining us today. Plenty more to come with Jim Rogers in just a minute.